Good something, viewers of stuff. Hello, I'm your host, something Q something, and welcome to whatever it is I do. Hello, Saria. Song. I never say the second part. I should say the second part more. Alright, I gotta get up the various posts. Hello, Jaffa. Let's see, okay, your Saria song is more of a brand name. Yeah. I know what it's like for your brand to be confused for your name. Believe me. That said, I have wholeheartedly embraced it myself, but... Let's see, tonight, we are probably gonna end up back in the Parisian sewer system, if my vague memories of this game are correct. Is this gonna try to play lyrics at me? No, we're good. Anyway, I personally am delighted to go back to the Paris sewers. It's interesting in there. There's, like, catacombs and shit. Catacombs and shit, yeah, that's what's in the sewer system. Beautiful. I know so much about things and stuff. Video games, folks! Only video games will put you in the Parisian sewer system. Unless you actually go to Paris and get into the sewers. Started playing Critter Cove. I've considered buying that. It's not, I played the demo, and it seems like high-quality stuff. That said, it's still early access, so I'm a little reluctant to get myself stuck into that. But it looks perfectly cromulent. I hope you made an interesting critter. I hope you've critted. I don't know how to... I don't know how to delineate crit.
It's no use!
It's no use! A sort of a rat with bat wings. Well, hey, so am I. It's called a Moogle. Although I guess you need the palm for that, but, believe me, I too am sort of a rat with bat wings. Anyway, Silver, you can get out of the dirt and get into the, beanbags. You're a bullet with butterfly wings. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Unfortunately, I do not like smashing pumpkins. My hammer always gets stuck in the rind. It's a shame. I guess I kind of like 1979, but... And that one song where their music video is a remake of that Parisian, no, not Parisian, that, like, French video about going to the moon. Oh, okay, well, yeah, smashing pumpkins into small piles of putrid debris is fun, because I am an old-school Hamumu head. I do love Hamumu software. Neil the Rat was banging out some tunes. I didn't know you celebrated Tumblr holidays. Nobody knows what Tumblr is going to celebrate next. There's the Neil the Rat Day. There's the Ides of March. It's great. Spilled onto Fetty, that figures. The kind of people who are on fucking Mastodon are probably the same people who are on Tumblr. Is that how you pronounce Hamumu? That's the name of his software company. Except instead of O's, it's U's. Hamumu. Alright, here we are on the page where things happen. I think I've managed to reconnect everything to Twitch. There's a lot of shit where, like, I'm getting updates like, oh, hey, we need to use a different API because Twitch are made up of idiots. So I think Firebot and I think Chatty are now updated. And I think OBS might be updated. So we can just play video games and not have to worry about it. I'm just going to try and load into our save game. And here's our saved game. Mool software. Yeah. I think I remember that. But he updated. He's got games on Steam now, and I want to play some of them.
A typically Parisian sidewalk cafe. Last time I visited one of those, it blew up. I decided I was happy enough right where I was.
Oh, George, you're so fun. Also, Parisian. Okay. I've been saying Parisian. Parisian makes... Thank you, Howie. Thank you for the Howie dream. Beautiful. Should we be getting redeems in the chat box? Is that something we should have? I think I can set that up. Whatever. Who is this?
I once read a list of low-stress jobs. It didn't include police work. Obviously, this guy hadn't read the same list.
Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't? That doesn't seem right.
An architectural echo of the gallows that once used to stand here.
Alright, we are in the fun part. The gallows. What's over here?
An ornate fountain stood in one corner of the square. I'd have to come by here in the summer to see it working.
Yeah, it's a stack of birds.
There was no water to frolic about in, and the leaf mold that was collecting there just wasn't the same somehow.
Leaf mold. Fun.
Fixed to the wall was a sign in 3 languages. In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knightly Order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Commemorating the fun history. Let's head up to the church. Take a look around. This scene was on the back of the box. I vividly remember that this scene was on the back of the box.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies.
George?
Whoa!
George! George, honey, come back to us.
I didn't have time to sit around.
But you have time to imagine butts. Why do straight people think about people's butts so terrifying? Marvel Rivals, that online action Overwatch game, put out a patch this week to buff all of the butts in the game. And it's specifically just the guy butts. Every guy in the game now has a fatter ass. And People seem to largely be, like, receptive to this. People seem to be applauding the ass patch. Because they recognize that in comic books, these characters have fat asses. So, I don't think everybody is necessarily terrified of ass.
A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state,
Can we rate it?
waiting in prayer for the judgment day.
No. Okay.
A knight there in the company of his fellows.
Rob Liefeld can't draw ass. I could have left the word ass off that.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
He doesn't draw ass on ladies, he just draws hip boobs. I mean, I think he's gotten better at drawing over the years, but still not
The
great.
second stone knight in a row of 4
Okay.
lay on the church floor.
There are a bunch of knights in here, they're all dead. We're not finding much in the way of, like, help.
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Seal it up, George. Pat the statue down. Alright, this stained glass looks interesting.
A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Oh. Well, maybe we can get George some education somewhere. I thought I saw that there was a... No? I thought I saw that there was a path over here, but I'm not getting that anymore. Surprisingly good for a low-res 2D... It is. Not just the stained glass window detail. I love all of these little... And of course it's got parallax scrolling. Game
A row of
tries
old
so
pews.
hard.
I thought all those
Okay, yeah.
firm, the flat
Stop thinking
back-
about ass, George.
Whoa!
George! God damn it, George. Alright. We're not finding anything in here. At least nothing that George can understand. Whoa! Buttocks! Let's talk to this cop for a minute. What's up?
Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Exeter? Like from Macross? I agree. I think George should electrocute the policeman, but...
What do you make of this grease paint-stained tissue?
Oh,
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no!
Then please put yours away.
I hate to say it, but, like, this cop is 0 for 2 on us.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
0 for 3. We are... George, you are batting terribly.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is? Thank heavens. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
To be fair, I think... I think that dunking on George is like the national hobby of France at this point. But let's report he's been committing a murder. Yeah.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern. Beyond that, who knows?
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Well, God knows. The French are all about being polite.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician. My TV has been acting up. Could you fix it?
I doubt it. This isn't my ID.
George, Jesus Christ.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
George is like a human dunkaroo. Yeah, you can dunk him in vanilla pudding, chocolate sauce. He goes well with anything.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does it mean anything to you?
Do you belong to some obscure arm of the Masons?
No.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
One which will not be answered at this time.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Dunking on the wine, too. To be fair, that is like the second French national pastime. There are some cars that go by Nico's apartment every now and then. Let's pry up the manhole cover for no reason other than it's here. We are getting into the French sewer system one way or another tonight.
Hey, you. What do you think you're doing? Leave that cover alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
Ah, he is an obstacle we have to get rid of. We will have to dispose of him so we can get into the sewers. We'll figure that out in a bit. Let's... Alright, let's find out. George, please?
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely in time.
No.
Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Alas, George has weenie disease. And that he's a weenie. Alright, well, let's go see if Nico has had a visit from Andre yet.
Hey, Nico.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
She sounds so breathless. Yeah. I think that's why in the director's cut, Nico is constantly off having her own side adventure. And, like, racing home just before George shows up.
That's the tripod in the Crew Museum.
Alright, I think we're gonna need that tripod.
That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn.
Alright, we know about the tripod, we know about the gem.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
We need to find Margaret Thatcher.
The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
And possibly a lamp.
There's a guy working on a loom.
We agreed that this was, like, representational of somewhere. Or George and Nico did.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
And, you know, one thing that we haven't mentioned is this runic or whatever around the edges. But hopefully maybe Andre will be able to translate that. If it matters.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
So I guess we're going back out there. Let's see. Did we maybe not get every conversational topic at the police station? Anyway, here's some traffic. I guess technically those aren't cars. They are trucks. I don't know what that was. Or that. Are those cars? They have boxes in the back. Anyway. Let's try the police again real quick. I think we exhausted every conversation option here, but it's best to be sure. Have to wait for him to finish writing in the ledger.
Excuse me.
What do you want now?
I really did see the clown. He ran into the alley across the street.
Did you follow him?
I lost him. I figure he went underground.
Do you know how many kilometers of sewers there are beneath this great city?
It's not a question I've lost sleep over.
I have no doubt that Inspector Rousseau will organize a proper search.
Clearly I was supposed to have this conversation long ago.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Really?
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Alright, that's a fresh lead.
See you later, Sergeant.
The Mole of Montmartre. Yeah. And, sure enough, we have the hospital on our map now. Alright. Let's stop in.
The old building managed to retain some of its original grandeur, but the modern additions look like a baseball cap on the statue of a medieval saint.
So fresh as fuck is what I'm hearing. Take a moment to pour a glass of water.
There was no sign of the crew of the ambulance.
Oh shit, free ambulance.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Okay. George, honey, George has this thing where he's like, I was about to do something unforgivable, but then I didn't. And, like, There's just something about him. Oh, hey.
The young man's face was full of eagerness and enthusiasm. I figured he was fresh from college.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
George just... not here for the furry, I guess.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Okay. Well, we could harass Bunny for a while, but,
See you later.
Right.
he is now standing in front of the receptionist I was about to click on. Thanks. Move, damn it. Thank you.
The woman managed to look overworked and hassled, though she didn't appear to be doing anything.
She's typing like 370 words a minute, George.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Technically, no. But they never let you in unless you say yes.
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not.
How did she know our name if we haven't told her yet? Maybe she heard us talk to Bunny.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Well, that figures.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
You know, she makes a valid point.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
We can hit her up with our entire inventory, but I'm going to be polite.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Let's try talking to this doctor.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
No?
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
Rules. It's amazing how many syllables you can fit into French.
I think I ought to warn you that Marquet is not what he seems.
Explain yourself.
He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms.
Really? Interesting.
Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are?
Certainly not.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're not going to get anywhere that way. One moment, my phone was making a noise and I have to figure out what the fuck it was. Okay. I don't think it was anything important. Hopefully.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
Let's actually show her a couple of things.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
Alright, well, let's actually
Excuse
get
me?
her attention again.
Yes, sir?
The nose?
What does this false nose remind you of?
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
That's right.
Why don't you give me a break and go and play with someone else?
Can you think of any use for this greasy tissue?
I guess you could use it to baste a roast turkey.
Yeah.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
That's fair.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Oh.
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now,
Oh.
let me see.
Ah.
He was on ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh dear. He's on ward J2. That's... Nurse Grendel's ward.
Grendel?
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
I can't imagine being demanded to poop on demand. Being demanded to poop. I can't imagine, like, having a timer that's strict.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
Oh, you mean she's been here a long time?
No, I mean there's not a man in this clinic who hasn't sprawled out on her.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J.
I don't think that's what that means.
How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Good luck. All
Thanks
right.
for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Still, we got in.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow. He looked blissfully happy, for no apparent reason.
He probably gets paid more than you, George.
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Okay.
Nothing really.
Let's look around first.
It was a life-sized marble figure of a guy in robes. The sculptor had tried to give him a look of paternal authority and concern. To my mind, he looked just plain constipated.
Why George? Because he's George. He's the Georgiest George there is.
There was no way I could improve on the sculpture with the janitor watching me.
I'm sorry? You're gonna what?
I guess the water cooler was for the use of people lost in the corridors.
It's you.
Maybe the face of the unaccountably happy domestic had made me unduly suspicious. I mean, I knew it was only my imagination, but the water tasted, well, peculiar.
Water tastes funny. Okay. Is this...
The door didn't have a sign or label or any kind of identification.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Really? Alright, that gets us over here.
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
It's plugged in. Okay, I get it.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Okay. He's coming around. George. George, I need the mouse, George. George. Before he gets back, George. What's in here? Coat. Oh, okay. We're a doctor now. All right.
Dr. Stobart at your service.
Okay. Let's try over here. I thought this might be the, door with... What's his name behind it? Marquette. I guess it isn't. Over here? A few minutes later. Okay, there is, Ah, here we are.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Well, who's first?
Monsieur Croquet in bed 2.
What's his problem?
He's been complaining of loss of consciousness. You'll need this, Doctor.
Let's see if we can get
She
somebody
gave me
killed.
a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks. Hi, I'm Dr. Stobart.
Hello, Doctor.
The nurse told me you keep losing consciousness.
That's right. I've had the problem as long as I can remember. It's a real out-of-body experience. Like death, but not so conclusive.
I see. How long does it last?
Just a fraction of a second, and then I recover.
I might not have been a doctor, but I was formulating a diagnosis all the same. This guy was nuts. I know exactly what you mean. It's known in the medical field as blinking.
Is it serious?
Of course it isn't serious. It's perfectly natural.
But just think, 2 seconds every minute. Why, that's almost half an hour every day. 2 weeks out of every year spent in total darkness.
I don't have time to listen to this baloney.
You know, I hate to say it, but George is actually more accepting than some doctors I've had. Let's electrocute the patient.
I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy.
Also, we believe him now.
Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was hoping we would use it. I guess not.
Which bed is Marquet in?
He's round the corner, in solitary.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know, but the men who brought him in were wearing masks and rubber gloves. Hey, you're a doctor. How come you don't know?
We doctors don't know everything.
Then how come you act like you do?
That is a very good question. Let's rotor this man.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
Eye surgery.
That's a dumb thing to say. It's not sharp enough.
Ugh. I'm gonna fill you with plaster of Paris.
Do you know what this is?
Is it self-raising flour?
No.
Okay.
Has Marquet had any visitors?
Nah, neither have I. That's the worst thing about being in hospital. You feel like the rest of the world has abandoned you.
Well, you know how it is. Life goes on.
Thanks for those comforting words.
Anytime, man.
Well, goodbye and good luck.
Thanks, Doc.
I diagnose you with having eyeballs.
Hello again. Do you know...
No.
Okay, we can't actually use a blood pressure cuff. Can we get to solitary? I bet we're about to be thrown out by the nurse.
Doctor,
What is it?
you haven't taken my blood pressure.
Do you need it?
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Okay. Was Dr. Monroe one of those guys in the lobby? Maybe we have to... Picky patients. To be fair, George isn't, you know, in any way fucking qualified to the medical field. So, let's do what the patients say. Okay, are you Dr. Monroe? You're not. You're Bunny.
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it
Timothy?
as a privilege. No, an honor.
The
to
LSD
look
experiment
after your
guy?
nephew, sir.
That may explain a bit about George.
Fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Oh.
So long, Hagenmeyer.
Okay. Maybe I can get Bunny to do this for me.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk.
Really? Okay.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
No? Alright,
See you later.
the blood pressure thing. Let's... Here, you do it.
Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
Oh. Did that not... Did that not work?
Oh, doctor.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Well, I can't do that now, so,
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners. Hey,
Okay,
Benoit.
maybe I have to ask him to do it.
Yes, sir.
Look, you're an actual qualified
Are you
doctor.
ready with that pressure gauge?
Primed and ready to pump, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Okay. Can I just go in?
Rather you than me, pal.
Okay, well, he's all fucked up.
Marquet?
Yes. I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lachmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassins.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grand Master. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashashin?
Is more likely to have followed Klausner. He'll stop at nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad, is it?
As for Gloucester, he is gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
So, George, who is, by all accounts, an absolute idiot.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Has stumbled into
But
basically a
what's
spy
that
thriller.
noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Welp.
Stand back, monsieur.
No gunshot. But I guess the beeping is more important. George has definitely stumbled deep into spy thriller territory.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Simply by being a dumbass.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
So the thing is, all of the writing makes me positive that they're aware of this. And, I think, frankly, you're just not meant to take it seriously. You're meant to take the plot seriously, but the antics? Not so much.
Can you think of any use for this?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital. It could be useful.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No.
It's called comedic sociopathy, and it works for me.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Have you ever heard of the Hashi-Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
Alright.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Alright, we may have to deal with Andre. Like, he may be able to tell us who the Assassin are. They're the assassins. Anyway. Honestly, a little bit of comedic sociopathy always works for me. All of these places are now crossed off. Head to the museum. And it's really strongly implied that we need that tripod. Which makes me think that there's gotta be a way to break it out of the case.
You have left it very late, monsieur.
Late for what?
Anything? I am closing the museum soon.
You wouldn't like to get locked in. I can tell you. Not in this gallery.
Why not?
It is haunted, monsieur.
You don't believe in ghosts, surely.
Oh, yes, I do. 7 years ago, a lad managed to hide in here. He'd made a bet with his friends, I suppose. When I found him in the morning, he was cold as ice and stiff as a board.
Well, what was the cause of death?
They said it was a brain tumor. But on his face was a look of stark, desperate terror such as I have never seen before.
Scary.
Okay. So we need to get locked in here. Which means we need to figure out how to hide. I think hiding involves the sarcophagus. But we'll need to distract the guard. Anyway, let's talk to Andre first.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
I mean, it's like playing JRPGs. Somebody tells you not to do something, you immediately have to do it.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
This got someone killed 7 years ago. Here I go, baby!
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes. It was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language. Assassini, the assassins.
So yeah, for more on that concept, please check out the historical documentary series Assassin's Creed.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
You could probably very easily do a crossover fanfic between Broken Sword and Assassin's Creed. No, I got, like, enough shit to do.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Okay, how do we... First off, we wait until the guard is over here or something. Alright, the guard is over there or something. Next, we open the window.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill. and the fat falls on the open flames. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled, and it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
Okay, so opening the windows will annoy him. Now he's had his back turned. And now we run over and jump in the sarcophagus. While he's distracted. He's not distracted yet. Okay, now he's distracted. Alright, now we're hidden. Maybe this will get George killed.
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Monsieur.
Alright, now we need to... Hours pass. Oh, now we need to prevent the theft. Shit, I was gonna steal it. These guys are gonna steal it before I can get it. We gotta fucking stop them.
Hey, Guido! Look at this!
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
Alright, quickly we'll save. And then let's walk over and say hi.
Oh, Guido!
What's the big idea, you dummy? Shine the light down here.
The mummy! It's come alive!
Mummy's alive!
If that's a mummy, I'm glad I'm an orphan.
Wow, that's Sprite for George getting shot. I'm sorry, that... He really plays it up. Alright, let's see if restoring this works. It does, good. Let's kill them.
What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Okay.
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean... it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod. Aren't you going to try putting the gem on the tripod?
I guess so. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The gem fits perfectly, but what does that prove?
Yeah, Nico pulled an Elaine Marley out of that. It's kind of great.
Maybe the tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there?
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
All right. And in Nico's defense, that was indeed fucking awesome. I don't care if she wants to do a Chat Noir cosplay. It was great.
I have to go.
Already? You only just arrived.
Time and tide wait for no man.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Let's go talk to Andre and see what he has to say about the manuscript. Because I'm sure the museum will be absolutely fucking delighted to see us again. I'm sure they will be absolutely delighted to see us here at the museum. Hey, everything's fixed.
The totem pole looked distinctly out of place in the setting of the museum. The case was empty. Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
What's with the long face?
Haven't you heard? The tripod was stolen.
No kidding.
I just don't get it. So many other treasures, and the thieves choose the tripod.
A modern-day alchemist, perhaps?
Who knows? There's no shortage of crazies in Paris. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
What happens if we,
Oh, Andre?
Oui?
What would you say if I told you I knew who'd taken the tripod?
I'd call the police and have them arrested.
That's what I thought.
Who was it?
Oh, I don't know, really. It was just a hypothetical question.
That's too bad. If I could get my hands on the thief, I'd wring his neck.
Okay.
What did
checking.
you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
Okay, what does the comic book
What
say?
story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
I don't think that's how that went, but okay. So, are you saying you can't interpret any of it?
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Okay, so you're biased.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
Spain is in Europe. Spain is not in Northern Europe, though, which is the only part of Europe he cares about, apparently.
Do you think the manuscript could be the map to the Templar treasure?
Frankly, no. That's too far-fetched. The manuscript is interesting enough and a rare find, but that's all.
Wouldn't it be terrific if it was a map, though? The treasure of the Knights Templar.
A romantic notion, Georgie, but extremely improbable.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Alright. Okay. So... That's the only thing I know that we might have to do is get down into the sewer. And I'm not sure how we're gonna do that with this dude in the way.
Hey, you with the balls.
George!
Oui?
George, honey! I don't think that's how we address people, George!
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu. A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so.
George, are you just gonna mock Europe? Because that is a European tradition. People throwing their balls around.
That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be?
George is the most American protagonist we've ever had.
A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
It's like he knows we're here.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, their last Grand Master, Jacques du Molay, was burnt on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow. You're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
That's the second time that joke has worked on us.
It didn't seem right to fry somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands.
Unexpectedly respectful, okay.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
Not after they made fun of you. Do you like jugglers?
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
What do you think of the juggler?
Ah, he is excellent, most watchable.
But he's blocking the thoroughfare and obstructing traffic.
So? He is amusing. The traffic isn't. If he wants to block it, who am I to say no?
You're a cop.
Ah, oui. So I am. Ah, well. Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
Yes.
No. Although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy? But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You have it.
Okay. Maybe we can out-entertain the crowd and... Now, I have no idea why we're doing this,
I'll
but
see you around.
I want access to the fucking sewers.
I'll be there.
So I'm following every plot thread I can get that involves, I guess, humiliating George.
Hi again.
To be fair, I like humiliating George.
Oui?
So,
What is it this time?
Look, a red nose.
Oh, you say, whoop-de-doo.
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps.
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
alright.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
Equip the nose.
The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change. There was a small crowd of 5 sightseers. It's a weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that?
Why is that, George? Why is that? Okay, I guess, I do my disappearing act in front of a crowd? Yeah. Okay. People will watch anything. Okay, we're in the sewers. Trying to gain access to the only manhole in all of Paris.
Rise a little, but at least the place didn't smell so much.
Yeah.
What's a guy supposed to do with a sewer? Don't answer that. There were 3 arches, each with an inscription.
Him, pardon me. 3 arches, each with an inscription. Okay, can we read the inscription?
There were 3 arches, each with an inscription.
Can we read the inscription, George?
Close up, I could see a faded inscription. My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe.
Okay.
The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence.
Okay.
The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked and was falling away. I wondered why.
Yeah, it's weird that we have an entire, like, fast food court. We've even got, like, Jack in the box. So we have, you know, the king, the queen, the Jack. Can I break this wall down?
Hey, that's hollow! It was time for some brutal destruction.
Okay.
I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. Close up, I could see the plaster was thinner where I'd broken through, and behind it were some cogs and a lever.
Okay, well, Pull the lever!
There goes. Hey, cool. Inside the hole, I could see one of the cogs had come loose and jammed the mechanism solid. I'd pulled the lever right over.
Okay, and the door's stuck.
There were 3...
Yep, 3 arches. What's this?
There was a handle in the boat that fed out chain with a hook on the end.
Okay, maybe we can, like, bust the door open with this. Whoops. So yeah, we're destroying some historical sites, but, to be fair, they're broken. Alright. Let's see if we can rip this door off the hinges. Oh, well, it doesn't really have hinges, but... Yeah, I don't know how that worked. That door just folded the fuck up. If this is a broken, where's the sword? Marquet in the hospital, or whatever his name was, mentioned that the sword must not be reforged or something. So... presumably we'll find it.
The door mechanism was trashed.
Oh well.
It would take a blacksmith or an engineer to do anything with that. There was a crack in the wall. Through it.
Whoops.
There was a crack in the wall. Through it, I could see a glimmer of natural light.
Okay, let's check this out.
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
You're very loud.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations.
Are we the bad guys for stopping this?
The millennium is almost upon us, and everything is in place for the rise of our new order.
No, okay, it's just people making things worse for the sake of making things worse, so they can pretend to make things better, except they'll probably make things worse. Okay, I think we feel good about destroying these guys again.
Almost. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results.
You know, I had totally forgotten this. I actually thought that there was no broken sword in Broken Sword, and I was wrong.
Not petty bickering. Not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course, my apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
So there's something in Syria.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
Okay. Let's save and head down there. It sounds like Dracula. Well, you know, there's only so many accents to go around. Well...
This will be our last meeting in person
Oh,
until we
okay.
locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The new millennium will belong to us. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princes of this world!
Dude is acting so hard, it fucking blew the microphone out for a second. Also, the way he says it sounds like they're gonna become Highlanders. George! And then they all ride out in an itty-bitty boat. Alright, now let's head down there. Look at George work it! Those itty-bitty steps. Like, he's pumping it. Looks like he's on a Stairmaster. Alright, what do we have here?
On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases, Non omnis moriar and Clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness. There was a large circle marked out on the floor with a stump in the middle. Around the circle I could see words inlaid into the stone.
All right.
The water seemed to belong to an underground river or something. It was way too deep to belong to the catacombs.
Are you sure? Do you know how deep the Parisian sewer system goes? Parisian? Well.
No way was I going out there without a boat.
Alright. Okay, so we built up to having this. Let's find out what happens if we use it here.
The light, falling from above, struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the seal, I could read M-A-R-I-B, Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Back in Nico's apartment.
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria. But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
The clown murder at the start of the game was a good guy assassin trying to stop a Templar. This is Assassin's Creed. It really it is. I did not remember how Assassin's Creed this was. Like, I'm really feeling it. And as a fan of the Assassin's Creed series, not realizing the connection for so long makes me feel like 2 halves of my brain were conspiring against each other. Like, I love this kind of shit, and it was right under my nose, and somehow I never realized it. I don't know. Then again, I do love this series, so...
Labino explained who the Hashashin were.
Yeah?
The cult of the assassins.
Oh, boy!
Oh, boy! Alright.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
Syria's a long way, but, Nico's like, yeah! Alright, we're going to Syria, which is not a location you see often depicted in games. I'm sure it'll be done with the same cultural sensitivity as everything else in this series. Here we are in Syria. Kitty.
The cat was an ugly brute who looked like he owned the joint.
Kitty. That's Kitty. Okay.
Ah, bad-tempered as well as ugly.
Alright.
The stand was being watched by a young boy, maybe 12 years old. Embarrassed as I am to admit it, you can spot an American tourist a mile off.
You sure can, George. Why does Broken Sword Syria look like Lost Sheep's Neve? You know, I'm not sure. Let's have a look around. Nineveh is less of a tourist trap. What's in here? Oh wow, you could not look more like Jafar if you
The
tried.
carpet seller looked craftier than the offspring of a fox and an insurance agent. It must have taken him all morning just to set up his stall. I had nothing to buy a carpet with, and didn't want to lug one around anyway.
Hi. Hello, sir. Lovely carpet.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes, yes. Carpet, yes?
No.
What do you think of this?
Lovely carpets.
Okay, we're not getting anything out of this.
Ma'asalama.
Then again, that's the same pattern as on the matchbook. Wobbly carpet!
It's me again.
Muruba. Hello, sir.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Ah. Give to me. Give to me. Alamut.
I thought so. Alright. I guess we've already found our way into a secret location. Alternately, George is about to be like hit over the head and tied up in a closet somewhere.
Many beneficent greetings, my most fortunate possible friend.
Huh? Do I know you, mister?
No, no, and again I say, no. But, my friend, do you not see our mutual good fortune in this meeting?
How frank do you want me to be?
You are a traveler, yes?
Boy, you must be the world's greatest detective.
No, I am told that is Sherlock Holmes of the big forehead and slipper full of shag. I, as contrast, am world's greatest luxury taxi driver.
I can see where this is going.
I am Ultar.
Ah yes, the Arabian stereotype plaza.
Excellent. Yes.
This I had to hear.
Where does your heart desire to go? Simply mention the name to your obedient servant, and we shall fly there, swift as the eagle.
Oh, well, I don't really want to leave Marib yet, but I'm sure that if I do, you'll be the first to know.
Is good. You know where you want to go, you come to Ultar.
Thanks. See you around, Ultar.
Be having a pleasant day, full of shining experiences and happiness, my friend.
I would love to.
The outside of the ornate spittoon was beautiful. The inside wasn't.
Put your hand in the Put your hand in the spittoon!
I hadn't felt the need to spit since I was 12.
Okay.
I was surprised to see alcohol on open sale in Syria. Then I realized this wasn't really open sale. And then I realized they weren't even alcoholic drinks anyway.
What are they, elaborate milk? berry juice.
The club manager's bonhomie seemed forced. Looking at the place, I could understand that. This is definitely not what they meant when they said the joint was jumping. Hi! Nice club you've got here. I was wondering if you could help me. What? I mean, I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
No surprise there, alrighty. He says sorry, but he not speak English.
But he didn't say anything.
He not have tongue.
No tongue? What happened?
It was bet.
And he lost.
He won. You should see other chappie. Oh, yes.
Okay.
The spittoon was nearly full. What did they sell here? Drinks or expectorants?
They're often the same thing, George. What's this?
Damn, the door's locked. I'm sorry? Did you say something?
He say you not to go in toilet. Read sign, matey.
Matey?
It lose something in translation.
My Arabic, Russian, and Japanese have a lot in common. I can't read a word of any of them. The notice didn't mean anything to me.
Okay, what does it say? Can you translate?
Hello again, Ultar.
Great hellos, munificent foreigner, and possible future client.
Well, you never know. Would you mind talking to me?
Is most agreeable.
This is such a
This
90s
is how
game
Ultar learn
sometimes.
such splendid English, yes? Yes.
Could you tell me what that sign means?
It's a door stay shut until brush come back. Signed, the management.
Oh, well, what does that mean?
Manager buy lovely new toilet brush, leaves it by wash basin for 10 minutes, come back, it been stolen. Not even out of wrapper. He damn cross. Lock up toilet and say, nobody use fine pristine toilet until brush given back. We say, what we do till then, eh? He say, cross legs and use superior willpower.
And that's what you've been doing?
No, Ultar use bucket.
I would almost have expected this out of the, Ireland area.
See you around, Ultar.
Fare you most
Okay.
splendid, good sir.
Let's go see if we can find a toilet brush. This is what we came to Syria for. This is why we're here. I have to admit, I'm amused by the combination of, the absolutely gorgeous landscape and the promise of, exotic adventure. And then your goal is to find a toilet brush. There's a real sense of, I don't know if you'd call it pathos. Is goofy is what it is. Can we talk to this American?
Hi, I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, sure, son. Always got time for a fellow American. The name's Henderson. Dwayne Henderson.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Henderson.
Hell, boy. I'm not in the office. Call me Dwayne.
Oh, okay. Dwayne? My name's George Stobart.
That is a very peculiar kind of American accent that you get when you tell somebody from, England to do an American accent. I don't know what region that could possibly be from.
You're a long way from home, Dwayne.
Could say the same about you, George.
Me? Well, I'm just sightseeing, that's all.
Without a camera, kinda lax to come all this way and not take pictures. Mind if I take a picture of you, George?
What? Why? Ow! You could have warned me.
You don't mind, do you, George? The folks back home will be real interested.
Can't you see? Man has committed a sin. Something life cycle.
What exactly do you do, Dwayne?
Didn't I say? Oh, I run a greeting card company. Yep, we're based in Cleveland, Ohio. Pearl writes the poems for him. You ought to ask her to recite some.
Earl?
Where is your wife, Dwayne?
Don't
Pearl?
hypnotize me or
Oh,
I'll
she's
shoot.
around.
I wasn't
looking for
even
bargains.
thinking about it.
How long have you been married, Dwayne?
Hell, must be 30 years now.
I'll shoot. How long have you been married? That was a good conjunction. Conjunction? Yeah, conjunction works.
Have you met Ultar?
Almost luxurious air-conditioned taxi ride, mister.
Yeah, the cabbie.
Tried to pull a bunco on us. Take us on a wild goose chase off into nowhere.
Yeah?
Do you mind if I ask you an odd question?
Okay, but I might not answer it.
Do you know anything about the Templars?
The Knights Templar?
Yep.
Nope. Nothing at all.
Well, you knew they were an order of knights.
What I know and what I say are two different things, boy. I haven't lasted as long as
Wait,
I
what?
have in this business without knowing that.
In this business?
Sure. The greetings card business.
Oh, please.
Okay, this is a secret agent. I'm sorry, I was not familiar with your game, sir.
I saw a medieval picture of a woman, royalty or nobility, something like that. She was looking in a mirror, but the reflection was of a man with 3 faces. What do you think of that?
I think you should be in therapy.
Okay.
Does the image of a knight holding a crystal ball mean anything to you?
Hell no. What would a knight want with a hunk of glass?
I don't know. That's the prob.
What's wrong, boy?
It's not a crystal ball. It all came together in my head. What the conspirators had mentioned losing. The strange perspective of the manuscript. It's a lens.
Okay, George just had like a house moment. Good for him. And yeah, if you're supposed to look at the manuscript through a fisheye lens, that would explain the weird angle on it.
Do you think bulls have any significance around here?
Weird question, George. Nope, I don't think they have.
Alright, let's go through our inventory.
What do you think of this?
It's a ball. Big deal.
Recognize this?
A clown's red nose.
Have you seen this man before?
Maybe. Where'd you get it?
I just picked it up somewhere.
Sure. I'm always picking up photos of complete strangers and then asking around.
I'm glad you do it.
Ow! Damn it!
There. I've got another picture of a complete stranger. Maybe I'll ask around about this one.
I can't help but feel that the tables have been excellently turned.
Do you know the name Merlin?
Nope.
What do you make of this?
A manhole lifting key. So?
Hey, how come you recognize it?
Hey, how come you're carrying it?
Yeah, well, let's just drop the subject, shall we? Look, I've got some plaster of Paris.
Yeah, and I've got a picture of me shaking hands with George Bush. Of course, that was back in '76.
You're definitely a secret agent.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure gauge? Why in blue blazes are you carrying that?
I'm carrying it for a friend. Shake hands, Dwayne.
Why?
I'm just being friendly.
Let's just be friendly by keeping our hands to ourselves. Yeah?
What do you think of this grease paint stained tissue?
You've been hanging around with actors?
Okay. He
Okay,
knows.
well, I'll see you around, Dwayne.
Count on it, George.
Alright. That is a very suspicious man. Is something he's probably saying to himself as well.
The merchant was selling fruit. I decided I might have some later. The stand was selling some fruit I didn't recognize. This is what travel is all about. roam the world, and discover strange fruit.
I fucking hate that I relate to that. I kinda do. We can go this way, too. What's over here? We'll talk to all of the vendors eventually. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what I expected. Is this Pearl?
It was a guess, but I figured the woman to be an American tourist. Just call me Sherlock.
A German word for the feeling you get from relating to George Staubert. I think it's like Freundstuckel.
Suddenly, I realized the horrific truth. The guy was basting the kebabs with a toilet brush. It may never have seen the inside of a toilet bowl, but it was still hardly appetizing.
Oh, what the fuck? Really?
It was a kebab stand, and an ugly one at that.
Must you, George?
Hi, what's your name, sir?
Hello, you buy kebab. Most good.
Most good.
What do you make of this?
Buy kebab. Most good.
Okay, we need something else.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Most good.
I wasn't hungry and didn't want to buy fruit, so I didn't start a conversation.
That guy's busy, so what about the kid? Ooh, is that a
The
shotgun?
rifle looked dangerous to the user. I didn't really want to lug the rifle around with me. It was the sort of bell you see in hotel receptions. Kind of unexpected here.
George looks like he has a tail now. That increases his appeal. Okay, he just points to the kid.
Hey there, young fella. Speak you the English? Speak you the Anglese? Parlez
George, don't be so
anglais?
fucking American.
Yes, see, and indeed we, and rather better than you by the sound of it. My name is Mijo. Welcome to my grand emporium of quality merchandise.
See, my theory is, in order to be a point-and-click protagonist, you have to have something wrong with you. Gabriel Knight was Gabriel Knight. George Stobart is George Stobart. You have to be a personality. And you have to have just enough of a personality that, like, walking around doing random things to random objects randomly does not seem like an odd pastime. So you have to have that kind of thing wrong with you. Kate Walker is Kate Walker. But yeah, anytime an adventure game tries to play the main character off as, like, a super genius or particularly intelligent, I think about them, you know, using a brick on everything in their entire apartment, for example. So it kind of helps if your adventure game protagonist is a little dumb, because then you can believe them walking around going, "Hey, what's this? Hey, how do I use this? How do I climb a ladder?" Yeah, that's my manifesto.
What do you know about that couple?
Oh, they're American.
Is that all?
The chap's a little odd. As for the lady, it's a funny thing, but I get the impression she's a lot cleverer than she's letting on.
I met an interesting guy earlier, a cab driver.
Ah, that would have to be Utar, a barbaric sort of chap.
Oh, he's not that bad.
You know how he speaks in Pidgin English? That's how he speaks in Arabic too.
Huh.
Who's the guy selling the kebabs?
Oh, that's Arto. A miserable blighter to be sure, sir.
He doesn't seem very happy.
He never is. Day in, day out, a face like a wet Wednesday. Whatever one of those is.
Does he speak any English?
Not cogently, no.
Okay.
Look, this is going to sound a bit strange, but I need Arto's brush.
What? The brush he bastes the kebabs with?
Yes.
Let me find some dirty postcards for you instead.
Nijo, this is serious. Arto stole that brush he's using from a friend, and I want to get it back.
Perhaps I could help you, old chap. Maybe? Perhaps?
Maybe what? Perhaps what?
I do not wish to seem mercenary, sir, but I am a merchant, and merchants trade.
Merchants? This isn't Sears and Roebuck here.
Well, if you're going to be disagreeable...
No, you're right. What would you like?
What have you got?
A lot of stuff.
Look at this. A lifting key as used by Parisian sewer workers.
Calais, sir. I must remember this day for posterity. My grandchildren will be fascinated.
Wow, you've read some, Lewis Carroll. Sears and Roebuck is barely extant anymore. Yeah. I think that's fine if they've been around since, like, the 1900s. They can go. We don't really have department stores anymore. I know JCPenney is going out of business. I know JCPenney has been going out of business, like, roughly as long as I've been alive, come to think of it.
This plaster was very useful in Ireland.
Really? Your fund of travelers' tales never ceases to enthrall me.
Like a blood...
I didn't have you down as a doctor.
I'm not. I, acquired it.
I didn't have you down as a petty thief, either.
I'm not.
You're a very petty thief, George.
What do you think of this, eh?
Oh, sir. What a splendid plaything.
Okay, the ball works.
One day, when I am rich, I am going to build a world-renowned collection of brightly colored balls.
Are you serious?
In deadly earnest. People will come from far and wide to see my...
Yes?
...collection. The Rockefellers and the Gettys can keep their hoards of so-called fine art. But answer me this. What good is a Picasso, I ask you, if you cannot bounce it off a wall?
You may have a point.
Sir, for such a marvelous thing, I would gladly help you.
I thought merchants were supposed to be wily and never reveal what they really want.
Bah! I say to mercantile greed, I have the soul of the aesthete, and I desire that red bouncy thing beyond reason. Do you understand?
Not really. If I give you the...
I've already told you. I'll help you if you give me the ball. What's it to be?
Far be it from me to come between someone and their lust for a bouncy red thing. Here you go.
All right. Here you go.
People say bad things about Americans, but you're okay in my book.
What people? What bad things?
Never mind that now. Remember the brush?
Right, yes, the brush.
All you have to do with Arto is be polite. It lightens his day, makes it all worthwhile for him again.
How can I be polite to the guy when I can't speak a word of Syrian?
Arabic.
That's what I meant.
Simply memorize this phrase. Il-ach il-kalb.
Il-ach il-kalb.
Close enough. Now, go over to Arto and deliver those honeyed words even unto his delicate ear. He won't be able to do enough for you.
Really?
Really.
Why do I have the feeling that I just got,
So long, Nijo.
Toodle peep, sir.
I just got told the local version of, like, go fuck yourself in Arabic. Il akal kab, okay.
Hello again, sir.
Hello. Kebab? Yes.
Il Akul Kalb?
Filthy, bad, bad. I'll kill you.
Whoa, calm down. Feet, do your thing.
Yeah. Okay, let's,
Arto had murder in his eyes. What the hell had I said to him? Hi, Nijo. What the heck did you tell me to tell him?
Patience, sir.
Patience? Patience? I've been chased by a homicidal kebab seller, and you expect me to be patient?
But consider, sir, while you were running from the irate Arto, the irate Arto wasn't using the brush.
Hold on. Are you telling me that I've been used as a diversionary tactic?
Your brush, sir.
I can't believe that you put me on that kebab seller's death list for a toilet brush.
The ends justify the means, sir.
Yeah, but I noticed it wasn't your butt that was on the line, though.
They also serve who only stand and wait, sir.
Oh, spare me.
He's the one who wanted to brush.
That's not a very friendly cat you got there, Nijo.
No, sir. It is a very unfriendly cat.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not mine. It just rests where it pleases. And today it pleases to rest there. As Kipling would say, it is a cat that walks by itself.
Fiercely independent.
And it smells.
Okay.
What exactly does Il Akul Kalb mean?
Do I have your word that you won't get angry?
Okay, just tell me.
It means, more or less, that you thought that Arto made his kebabs from dog meat.
No wonder he went crazy. Dog food? Sheesh.
Not dog food, sir. Dog meat, as in dog.
Nijo?
You gave your word, sir.
So, this is your stand?
Oh, yes, sir. Though stand does not begin to do it justice. The finest in this bustling metropolis.
This is a bustling metropolis?
Well, not per
It's a
se.
city?
No.
Let's go return the
around,
brush,
Nijo.
and then I think we
Ta-ta
will
for now, sir.
pause for the weekend. Or pause because the weekend's over. And I will go on my day off. I recognize that I've only been doing 2-hour weekends lately, and that does feel a little weird. But, lately it's, because of the whole, like, go to the doctor, etc. thing, my sleep patterns have been off. And you know, if I'm tired, I just don't play games well. Is the excuse I'm going with.
Hello again, friend. There wasn't much point in trying to launch an in-depth conversation when I couldn't speak Arabic and he couldn't speak. Period. Well, I did know a few words of Arabic, but doubted the wisdom of using them. Here's your brush, sir. It wasn't easy getting it back.
Alright.
The manager took the brush from me, gave me the toilet keys as my reward, and stomped off.
I wonder where he went.
What was all that about?
Manager, he say, bah, look at state of this. Need much cleaning and detergent before go around my, you bend.
He said all that?
Body language account for much, you know? Oh, yes, indeedy.
Okay, we might as well check out the bathroom, because, we did just get the keys for it. place is bigger than my apartment.
The mirror was as clean as anything else in there.
Despite everything, it's still you, George.
It was a roller towel dispenser.
Can I have it? Goes around in a circle.
Hello? Anybody in there? No answer, so I gave it a push.
George versus the squatty
I
toilet.
thought the French had strange toilets. I hadn't drunk anything since the morning, and I didn't need to use it.
George, dehydration is no laughing matter. Is there anything I can do with this? It seems like having a towel would help.
Ice is frozen water.
Okay.
The dispenser had opened easily enough.
What about that crack tile there? It's just a crack tile. None of this seems to have anything to do.
It was a length of coarse gray toweling from the toilet at the Club Alamut.
Okay. Yeah. All of these seem to be just decorative. So this, I suppose, is where we'll leave George for the week. In the bathroom in a Syrian marketplace. I can think of worse places to be in my life. And when we return next weekend, George will consider his crusade of ignorant racism and confused deadpan mockery across Europe. And also, you know, stealing things from bathrooms. That's an integral part of his personality. On Tuesday, however, we will play one more round of What the Car, because I think that's all the game will support. And then we'll move on to the next thing, which I believe will be Return of the Obra Dinn, which means the chat may be going follower only for a little bit. Because if anybody attempts to spoil me on that game, I will pull out their testicles with a fork. It'll be fun. Anyway, good night. If they don't have testicles, I will find possibly the ovaries. That seems like a good substitution. Anyway. New bottom surgery. No. I will poop on you. No. Alright, I am gonna just go ahead and send you folks off. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow, and have a good whatever.